Hello there, boys, non-boys, autistic or not, diagnosed, undiagnosed, or misdiagnosed. In this episode, I'm going to talk about autism in boys. So let us begin. First and foremost, autism is currently more easily diagnosed in boys. It has been thought that it is a predominantly male condition, and tides are finally turning, but it is a slow and painful process. However, since 2013, with the new issue of the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, 5th edition, this has changed. The autistic condition has been expanded enough to facilitate adult diagnosis as well as more diagnosis in women. Although I still think a better definition is needed in order to explain the rich multitude of cases and symptoms that the autism spectrum encompasses. Second point I like to make: autism tends to be diagnosed earlier in males. This is allegedly due to boys exhibiting the symptoms looked for within the DSM-5 criteria more often than girls. Such symptoms like ritualistic behavior, insistence on sameness, unusual eye contact, and sensory issues. However, these findings are being disproved in recent years. Masking is the third and last point I want to cover in this video. In general, boys tend to be worse at masking or tend to pick it up slower. This makes perfect for an early diagnosis and skews the scales somewhat. However, I am a big exception to that, as I used to hang out with vastly different people and I acted like a chameleon who blended in with ease. Of course, this was all learned behavior, and alcohol helped me a lot to learn how to mask. Watching movies and series assisted me too. The combination of both helped incredibly, watching something and trying to copy it actively while by myself at home. I would just get drunk and watch something and try to act it out, and I was trying to be in different roles so that I would understand how to do that better. I am so happy because I unlearned this horrible behavior of masking. Acting as somebody else or imitating somebody already comes pretty natural for me because I've done it so often. But nowadays, I don't use it for masking anymore. I just use it for being funny, pretending to be somebody else. However, back then, when I was using it for masking, this was not only draining my energy, but making me put up with people who I did not tolerate. And worst of all, it was making me drink and mask even more. As I already mentioned, masking and addiction often come hand in hand, and in general, boys tend to pick up on drinking more, while girls tend to be more easily drawn to smoking cigarettes. Both of these are topics for future videos which I'm going to make, so stay tuned to find the reasons behind these patterns, and most importantly, discover ways to treat substance abuse and other addictions. This is it for this video on autism in boys. Next, I'm going to talk about autism in girls, a much overlooked topic except for in the recent few years. I hope you enjoyed me talking, and see you next time around. Until then, guys, peace be with you. Next one, I'm going to talk about autism in girls, a much merged